Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable! Delivering you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defer school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable!
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible!
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, then you will do it later on.
Accurate!
The sphere that includes all living
Today,
things.
we will be talking about rational functions.
Simplified.
This is Jaw speaking. How may I help you?
This is ZTED School Radio's Senior High School On-Air
On-Air
Academy. And now, here's your new episode for Mind and Action.
Your guide in subject, physical education and health. Mind and action.
Mind and Action.
Mind and action.
Safety rules have been developed with input from supervision and implementation. While held to a minimum, the rules must address to behaviors and work practices that can avoid accidents and injuries. It's mandatory to acquire knowledge on important personal safety protocols to lessen possibilities of danger. Good day, learners! It is really a good day to learn new things that will help us be productive and be active at the same time. Welcome to the third episode of Mind and Action, your guide to physical education and health subject. Today, we will focus on the safety protocols to avoid dehydration, overexertion, hypo and hyperthermia during MVPA participation. Let's seize the moment. Listen, relax, enjoy, and learn at the same time. I'm your teacher, Ma'am Shireen Grace M. Imbag, and I'm extremely happy to be with you today. Are you ready? At this point, I want you to get your pen and notebook for you to take down notes and your module in Health Optimizing Physical Education and open it on the lesson Safety Protocols to Avoid Dehydration, Overexertion, Hypo and Hyperthermia during MVPA participation. Be sure that you are in comfortable place and position while listening to our discussion. In the previous episode, you've learned how to engage in moderate to vigorous physical activities or MVPAs for at least 60 minutes, 3 times or more in a week. You also analyze physiological indicators such as heart rate of perceived exertion and pacing associated with MVPA. And we also had a short quiz after the discussion. Now, let's reveal the answers to your previous quiz. Get your quiz notebook and pen, and let's see whether you answered the questions correctly. Ready? Number 1. Swimming and playing basketball are vigorous activities. The correct answer is disagree. Swimming and playing basketball are classified as moderate activities. Next question. Proper execution of different movements increases the risk of injuries. The answer is disagree. The best way to avoid getting injured during MVPA is through the proper execution of different movements. Number 3. A normal nutritional status means that weight is proportional to the height. The correct answer is agree. Weight proportional to height makes a normal nutritional status. For number 4, physical inactivity and an unhealthy diet are risk factors of heart disease. The answer is, that's right, agree. People who are physically inactive and have unhealthy diet are at risk of heart disease. And our last question. A physically active person engages in 5 to 10 minutes of moderately vigorous physical activity 3 to more times a week. And the correct answer is disagree. A physically active person engages in a 60-minute exercise of moderate and vigorous physical activities 3 to more times a week. I hope you did well in your quiz. You may read your modules again to refresh your memory about the different moderate and vigorous activities. Today, our topic will focus on the safety protocols during MVPAs, identifying sports-related injuries, and differentiating acute from chronic injuries. So stay tuned after this short break.
Tayo na!
Gustong pagkain ang ating ihain. Ang junk food ay iwasan. Nang isip ay magkalaman. Kumain ng gulay nang di ka man lupaypay. Uminom rin ng gatas at nang ikaw ay lumakas. La 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 la. Kumain ng sagana at nang ikaw ay sumigla. Kumain ng wasto para isip ay maging listo. Isang paalala mula sa himpilang ito.
We're back, learners! You are still listening to Mind and Action, your guide for physical education and health. With me, Ma'am Shireen. Before anything else, I'd like to test your entry level by asking a few questions, which are connected to our lesson, giving a hint of what we are going to tackle today. Are you ready? To spice up this activity, let's answer the questions through a game. All you have to do is listen very carefully and step your right foot if you already experienced the said injuries or unwanted incidents, and your left foot if you have not yet experienced them. Got it? Right foot for yes and left foot for no. Ready? Okay, let's begin with number 1. Have you ever experienced nose bleeding or epistaxis? Next, have you experienced sprain and strain during physical activities? Next, have you fainted during a sports game? And the fourth and last question, have you broken a bone while playing sports or even a simple game? Let's see which foot had the most steps. If you stepped mostly on your right, that means you have experienced these incidents during physical activities. On the other hand, if you stepped mostly to the left, that means you have few incidents or injuries encountered. Let us now analyze the questions and what your answers mean. What did you notice on the questions being asked? Very good. It talks about incidents that may happen during physical activities. What did you learn after experiencing those unwanted incidents? Yes, that's why we should always be cautious and knowledgeable in treating one's injuries. As I mentioned earlier, today we will discuss safety protocols to avoid dehydration, overexertion, hypo and hyperthermia during MVPA participation. Are you ready? That's good. What is MVPA again? Correct. It stands for moderate to vigorous physical activities. These are physical activities which span from moderate progressing to vigorous intensity, and mind you, injuries such as sprain and strain may occur when a person engages to these kinds of activities. But the big question is, why do athletes, players, and even dancers tend to injure themselves during this kind of activities? Very good. It is the result from poor training practices or improper gear. Some people may get injured when they are not in proper condition, such as having no proper warm-up and stretching before the play or activity or exercise. What else? Applying too much pressure on your muscles during activities may lead to overexertion. What is overexertion? Correct. Overexertion refers to the pressure one puts in himself or herself. Too much pressure that leads to a simple discomfort that might extend to a more serious injury. It is more intense than exhaustion, but basically it can actually happen to anyone at any time while performing in sports, exercises, and others. Lifting heavy objects, performing unnatural movements, sitting and standing for long periods of time, using excessive force to perform a task are just few examples of overexertion. If you are suffering from any kind of overexertion injuries, you can help yourself to treat the conditions by heat treatments and anti-inflammatory drugs prescribed by a doctor or physician. As we stated earlier, sports injuries occur during exercise or while participating in any sport. What are common sports injuries that you know? Very well said. Let's deepen our knowledge on these injuries by discussing them one by one. Let's start with the sprain. It is defined as the tearing of ligament fibers, muscles, or tendons supporting a joint. Sprains take place when the ligaments in your ankle are torn or stretched beyond their limit. You may ask, is it really painful? Absolutely painful. What about bruises? This is common skin injury resulting in skin discoloration. This happens due to ruptured small blood vessels. According to WebMD, bruises occur when people bump into something. It can also occur to people who exercise vigorously, such as athletes and weightlifters. These bruises result from microscopic tears in blood vessels under the skin. To prevent this skin injury, be sure to wear protective gear like shin guards when playing contact sports, and place furniture or other clutters away from the area where you exercise. Another common injury is fracture, a break, usually in a bone. Medline Plus states that fractures commonly happen because of car accidents, falls, or sports injuries. Overuse can also cause stress fractures, which are very small cracks in the bone. If you happen to have fracture, look out for the following symptoms: intense pain, deformity, swelling, bruising, or tenderness around the injury, numbness and tingling, and problems moving a limb. If someone has a fractured bone, don't move the person unless necessary to avoid further injury, and call for immediate medical attention. By the way, injury is defined as a physical harm or damage to someone's body caused by an accident or an attack. It can be acute or chronic injuries. Acute injuries occur suddenly when playing or exercising. Sprained ankles, strained backs, and fractured hands are acute injuries. Meanwhile, chronic injuries happen after you play a sport or exercise for a long time. Signs of a chronic injury include pain when you play, pain when you exercise, a dull ache when you rest, and swelling. Let us discuss more about the sports injuries and how we can prevent it. Are you still with me? That's great! As we all know, exercise is good for the body, and with proper precautions, sports injuries may be prevented. The quality of protective equipment, padding, helmets, shoes, mouth guards, may contribute to safety in sports. Just like what we have said from the start, injuries from sport may occur if there is an improper or poor training practices, wearing improper sporting gear, being in poor health condition, and improper warm-up or stretching practices before a sporting event or exercise. For example, in a basketball game, conducting a few basketball drills will help players to prepare mentally and physically. It can also help the players to condition themselves to lessen the risk of injuries. Basically, treating injuries such as ankle, knee, or joint is a little bit tricky. But don't worry, because there is a mnemonic device that we can use to easily remember the treatment method. Do you know what I am talking about?
Aye, aye, Captain!
That's good. It is the RICE method. R is for rest, meaning immobilization prevents further injury and gives the body time to recover. I stands for ice, cold, which reduces pain by numbing the affected area. The C is for compression, which means adding pressure, keeping swelling under control, and E is for elevation. Keeping the injured body part above the heart reduces swelling and pain and discomfort. Aside from the injury prevention techniques mentioned, there are also some personal safety protocols that we need to consider. And these are as follows. First, prepare yourself. Yes, you need to prepare yourself and to know your limits so as not to overwork your body. Overworking your body might put your life to a threat. Second, change clothes. Do not let the wet cloth dry up in your body. Third, drink a lot of water. Do not wait to feel thirsty. If you know that you have sweat a lot already, drink water immediately. But why do we need to drink water during rigorous activity? Correct, to lessen the risk of dehydration. Remember that to nurse dehydration, the body will need to replenish lost fluids and electrolytes by means of drinking. How many glasses a day? Correct. We need to drink 8 to 12 glasses a day to avoid dehydration. Prevention is better than cure. That quotation always adheres to our topic objective, wherein we must increase the intake of adequate fluids, watery fruits and vegetables, and avoid hot environment. Speaking of temperature, we all already know as standard knowledge that hot and cold weather will increase and decrease the body temperature. If the body temperature drops below 35 degrees Celsius, it is called hypothermia. When your body temperature drops, your heart, nervous system, and other organs cannot work normally. This condition is called hypothermia. What causes hypothermia? Very good. Hypothermia is often caused by exposure to cold weather or immersion in cold water. Primary treatments for hypothermia are methods to warm the body back to normal temperature. What about hyperthermia? Correct. It is the total opposite of hypothermia. It happens when the body temperature rises up significantly beyond the normal temperature, which is 37 degrees Celsius, caused by extreme hot weather condition or infection, heat regulating problems, and adverse drug reactions or overdose. There you have it. We just had our session on the safety protocols. To have a short review about our session, identify the following concepts and try to give the correct answer. Are you ready? Let's begin. It is also known as broken bones. Correct. The right term is fracture. What do you call a condition that occurs when the body's temperature rises? Correct. Hyperthermia is the correct answer. How about this? It is a common state faced by many after a strenuous workout. Very good. It is overexertion. And how many glasses of water a day should a person drink? Very good. A person should drink 8 to 12 glasses of water a day to avoid dehydration. I'm impressed. Now, I believe you are ready for a short quiz. Let's see whether you understood our lesson today. Prepare your pen and quiz notebook, and we will have a short quiz after this break.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na!
Mare, ba't may gamit kayong radyo ngayon? Luma na yan ah!
Mare, ang radyo ay kailanman hindi na paglilipasan ng panahon, lalo ngayon. Isa ang radio-based instruction sa napiling gamitin ng DepEd para maituloy ang pag-aaral ng mga bata sa kabila ng pandemiko.
Wow! Ang galing naman! Sige Mare, uwi na ako para makabili ng radyo para sa inaanak mo.
Tara na't matuto sa kabila ng pandemiko. Isang paalala mula sa DepEd at ng himpilang ito. Sulong Edukalidad!
And we are back. Are you ready for the test? That's good to hear. All you need to do is classify the given examples as acute or chronic injuries. I will repeat the statement twice. Here we go. Number 1. Sudden severe pain. Again, sudden severe pain. Number 2. Pain when you exercise. I repeat, pain when you exercise. Number 3. Swelling. Again, swelling. Number 4. Extreme leg or arm weakness. Again, extreme leg or arm weakness. And number 5, a bone or joint that is visibly out of place. Again, a bone or joint that is visibly out of place. Were you able to answer everything? That's great! We will reveal the answers on the next episode. Right now, place your answer sheets on your student kit and your teacher will record them as a formative test as soon as they will receive your kits. Another fruitful day has passed. Always remember the safety protocols in physical activities in order for us to avoid unnecessary incidents. Good day, learners. I am hoping that you learned a lot today. Until next time, here at Mind and Action, your guide for grade 11 PE and Health. On behalf of our scriptwriter, Mr. Ruel B. Santiago, and the production team for Sdo Isabela Radio-Based Instruction, I am your teacher for today, Ma'am Shireen Grace M. Imbag. Stay home and stay safe.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela!
Halina't matuto, gamit ang ating radyo. Pakinggan at unawain, aralin na ituturo. Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon. Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang maiiwan. Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.
O anak, bakit hindi mo ginagalaw ang pagkain mo? Inay, ayoko po ng ulam. Ang gusto ko po sana ay chicken joy at hotdog, kagaya ng mga kalaro ko. Hindi mo ba alam anak na ang mga pagkain iyan ay hindi sapat ang sustansyang kailangan ng iyong katawan? Kailangan mo din kumain ng gulay at prutas dahil ang mga ito ay nagbibigay ng iba't ibang bitamina upang lumakas ang iyong resistensya. Ganun po ba, Nay? Sige po, kakainin ko na po ang aking pagkain. Nang sa ganun, ay lumakas po ang aking katawan at malayo sa sakit. Isang paalala mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
Ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela. Ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na!
Mari, baka pwedeng makahiram muna ng pera mo. Pambili ko ng cellphone ni Junior. Malapit na ang pagbubukas ng klase, ngunit wala pa rin siyang gagamitin. Ay, paano na kaya ito?
Naku, Mare, hindi mo na kailangang bumili ng cellphone dahil may iba't ibang learning modalities ang DepEd, gaya ng radio-based instruction, TV-based instruction at modular learning. Hindi lang online learning.
Ay, ganun ba, Mare? Sige, Mare, mauna na ako. Ibabalita ko pa yan kay Junior. Salamat!
Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng DepEd at ng himpilang ito.
Ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela. Ayun na, sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na!
Naku Mare, nabalitaan kong magbibigay na daw ang mga guro ng learning modules. Ibig bang sabihin nito, tayo nang magtuturo sa mga bata? Ipinasa na nila ang kanilang trabaho. Wala na silang gagawin, samantalang tayo ang aako sa trabaho nila. Ano ba yan?
Ganito yan, Mare. Base sa pagkakaintindi ko sa nakaraang orientation sa DepEd, ang mga magulang ang gagabay sa pag-aaral ng ating mga anak bilang hindi pa naman pwede ang face-to-face na klase. Aalalay lang tayo sa gagawin ng ating mga anak habang sila ay nasa tahanan. May gagawin pa rin naman ang mga guro. Sila ang maghahanda at magbibigay wasto sa mga learning modules na gagamitin ng mga mag-aaral.
Ah, ganun pala yun Mare. Magiging madali ang pagkatuto ng ating mga anak sa tulong at pag-alalay ng mga magulang. Isang paalala mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.